Stop the cap.
Taking me away from posting these other subjects. But anyway, this is a weird ass post from Nefekare. And I've already peeped this about Nefekare. I like Nefekare's content. You know what I mean? I think, his series on, what do you want to call it? Not white fatigue. What the hell is it called? The 2977 and going hard on it. I think a lot of that shit is brilliant. But like Nefekare's personality, like a lot of his shit is really ego driven. And I peeped that with his whole going back and forth with Dennis. And he just like runs around attacking people, trying to be seen, trying to provoke people. Because this post that he just made makes absolutely no sense. So I'm sitting here, I'm reading Nefekare's post, and he says, and this is about Cameroon's 92nd-year-old president wins controversial eighth term. Do any African Americans even know who this dude is, or know about him having eight terms? Like that just goes underneath the bubble of Africa's corruption, which we already know goes on, right? But anyway, his post says, it's funny the same world leaders and international community who love preaching about upholding democracy somehow go silent when it's time to speak on men like Paul Biya, who has been in power since 1982 from rigged elections. First off, the people who talk about democracy over the place they're not consistent, and you can see that all throughout Western civilization. Okay, they support democracy if they can go in there and they can privatize the resources and make sure that it's not a socialist government, that those resources don't go to the people. If it's if they can't get in that way, and they got, like, let's say there's already a government and the government's a dictatorship and it's a strong man. If the dictatorship is friendly to the West and is like, hey, all you got to do is go through me and you can get all the resources that you want, right? Again, this is why the United States backs the House of Saud and keeps the House of Saud in place, because they had that agreement with FDR, with the whole, as long as you trade your oil in US dollars, we'll give you weapons, and then you can use the weapons for whatever the fuck you want to do. And we have this agreement, and we'll protect you and keep the House of Saud, in power, because the House of Saud didn't have a military. Okay, the House of Saud could have easily been toppled back in the day. They knew that shit. A bunch of Arabs with fucking kufiyas and white robes. And at best they got the damn Aladdin sword and a bunch of horses. They wasn't about to do shit. Okay, they have no manufacturing base, none of that. They made a deal with the West. Okay, so his whole statement, like, you need to understand, like, yeah, people go up there and they talk all this democracy shit, but we already know that the West is full of hypocrites. We already know that. So, like, him saying that, like, oh, like that's like a slam dunk or something, nigga, you stating the obvious. Continuing, also funny, the anti-Pan-Africanism crowd also goes silent. Why would the anti-Pan-Africanist crowd say anything about what's going the fuck on in Africa if they don't believe in Pan-Africanism and they believe in isolationism or FBA isolationism and focusing on FBA problems first? Like, nigga, this doesn't make any sense. This post doesn't make any sense. You won't see any videos or comments from the usual characters speaking on men like Paul Biya. Why would they speak on him? Right? An anti-Pan-Africanist says, I don't give a fuck about Africa. I don't give a fuck about the black diaspora. I don't give a fuck about what's going on outside the United States. I wish them well, but I'm over here focusing on what's going on in the FBA community. Like this post makes no sense. An anti-Pan-Africanist is not going to care about what's going on in Africa. They don't got to speak up about shit. Then he says, the ethno-nationalist, tribalist, delineated black male is never held accountable or called into question for his actions and his failures. Well, what the fuck is he talking about? What does a ethno-nationalist, tribalist, delineated, which I'm assuming that he's talking about FBAs, what do they have to do with what's going on in Africa? Literally, what do they have to do with what's going on in Africa? As somebody who takes that position, who wears the super delineated, FBA, I'm not a Pan-Africanist t-shirt, what do they have to do with the failures that's going on in Africa where the Africans have already delineated? They've been delineated. Do not de di akata, right? They've been delineated. I'm so tired of like this. Like, first off, what did I already say to freaking Nefekare? I said, you want to do the Pan-Africanist shit? Nigga, go do that shit. Ain't nobody stopping you from doing that shit. But this nigga just keeps popping up, bitching and crying and complaining and criticizing, the FBAs and bringing and trying to like you can see like he's like trying to pick a fight. Like, nigga, nobody cares. Like, if a motherfucker says, I don't care, like, why are you coming over here, right? Like, that's like if a nigga says, I only date white women, and I'm self-hating, and I only date white women, and I ain't gonna do shit for a black bitch, then why is a black woman still over there in his face? He done already told you he don't like you. Why are you over there in his face? And this is kind of like the same thing. Just as an example, it's the same thing. It's like, they already said they don't fuck with you. Why are you, see, and this is the bitch-assness of it. The bitch assness of just this post. And I only have a problem with this post. You know what I mean? Because I follow him, he's in my timeline and everything. And this is kind of like one of them irritating Legion of Men posts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, nigga, like, if they've already said who they are, what they represent, what they're about, what they're not about. And then he's over here trying to like drag them into the conversation, like trying to pick a fight to keep relevance. If you're pro Pan-Africanist, then go do the pro Pan-Africanist thing. Why can't you Pan-Africanists go off and do anything for the Pan-Africanist movement other than bitch about what the fuck FBAs who are delineating and not affiliating or whatever, what the fuck they're doing? Like, damn, I mean, talk about the incapable. This is tantamount. This goes back to when I used to have the arguments about, the black women and the gender war and all that other shit. And Captain Solo told me, he was like, when you get done dealing with the women, he's like, when you get done with the women, he's like, I'm telling you, you're going to have problems with the men. And he was 100% right. He was 100% true about that. You know what I mean? When it comes to black men working together, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't have anything to do with black women and black mothers beyond a certain point. Beyond a certain point, it's like we either going to do X or not do it. We either going to do it or then we're not going to do it. You know what I mean? But Nefekare, like, he like, you're Pan-Africanist, you want to go and you want to open up a school in Africa for the children or some shit like that. You want to have a Haitian, a Cameroonian connection. You know what I mean? You want to have, some other group. Hell, the people in America who are Pan-Africanists. Focus on them. See, and what's pissing me off is this highlights the problem with black men as a collective, seemingly. With black men, when it comes to, okay, you've identified the problem, you've identified the issue. Okay, nigga, go and do that. But instead, all he wants to do is focus on the antis. Well, the antis ain't gonna help you because they anti. They done already told you they anti. They already told you what they about and what they not about and what they not gonna do. Why are you wasting your time and energy focusing on them? It's like, nigga, if you just want to create content, then just say you just want to create content. And this is why the Pan-Africanists get on my nerves, because a lot of the Pan-Africanists ain't about shit. It ain't about shit. It's just they just want to talk about Pan-Africanism. But when it actually comes to actually doing something, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like somebody who says that's about like feeding the homeless, and then there's like a group called the anti-feeding the homeless because they think it like encourages homelessness somehow, some way, right? And the pro feeding the homeless person should be doing what? Feeding the fucking homeless, right? That's what the pro feeding the homeless person should be doing. The pro feeding the homeless person should not be arguing with the anti-feeding the homeless people. You see what I'm saying? Like, when your organization is literally about an action, right? Pan-Africanism, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but is not Pan-Africanism about an action? Like, that's what makes Pan-Africanism a thing, right? That black people of all of that diaspora are working together and networking and trading, right? And doing shit together. Oh, what opportunities you got over there? Oh, we got some opportunities over here. Oh, what skill sets you got over there? Oh, we got these skill sets over here. That's what should be happening. But this nigga over here, all he want to do is talk about what the anti-Pan-Africanists are talking about. Lame, nigga. Lame. That shit is lame. What else is in here? It's only the Pan-Africanist black male that gets assaulted. What is this? Assaulted with attacks, on his character. No, nigga, nobody cares. They already told you. The anti-Pan-Africanists already told you what they not going to do. So you should be off. You should be off with your cape, and you should be doing some Pan-Africanist shit. See, eventually, see, this is just the reality of it. Because I can attest to the fact that when it comes to the whole gender war and black men and everything, it gets to a point where you spend too much time talking and you haven't done anything. And eventually people are going to start calling you out on the fact that you haven't done anything. This is what happened to black men in the gender war. Okay? Talking about whatever you want to talk about. I don't even say nation building, whether it's passport bros or whatever, or how brothers are going to go and get other races of women, and then they still out there, still being single. I'm one of them, right? You know what I mean? So eventually it gets to a point where it's like, nigga, you just talking. You haven't done anything. And see, I can peep this shit because I can peep it in everybody. I peep it in men. I peep it in women. You know what I mean? Like it's like you get somebody that all they want to do is that they just want to argue and make threats and all this other shit. Oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. Da 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 da. Like a woman saying, "Oh, I'm gonna leave you." You know what I mean? But all her clothes are still in the drawer. I can see if you said I'm gonna leave you, and then when I get back to the spot, you got all your suitcases lined up by the door. Like, oh shit, she's serious, right? But see, there's a lot of people. What they want to do is they want to constantly focus on something else, as to claim that they have some sort of opposition when they don't. When they don't. It's, again, same thing with the white people running around. The irony of freaking Nefekare. What are the white people doing? They running around, oh, black fatigue, oh, the blacks, oh, my God, oh, black fatigue, oh, the woman getting attacked on the train, oh, right? But, again, the call is coming from inside their house, right? You can't afford the cost of living now? I think you need to take that up with the white oligarchs. But instead, what do? Oh, we got to talk about the black on black crime. What's going on in the black community? Da 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 da. Again, what's going on in Chicago? What about Chicago? Has nothing to do with the fact that you can't afford a house. You're going to have to take that up with the white elites. Okay? You're going to have to take that up with the Trump administration. Right? Oh, you're going to lose health care? You're going to have to take that up with the white people that are in control. You should have all the smoke for them. But instead, what do? Oh, what about Chicago? Oh, what about Chicago? Oh, what about the immigrants? Oh, the immigrants. Getting rid of the immigrants, locking every nigga up that you could possibly fucking think of isn't going to make houses cost less than the average price of $430,000. That's not going to change. You see what I'm saying? And so, it's like, I'm just putting out a warning, like Nefekare doing the same shit. It's like, nigga, if you gonna do some Pan-Africanist shit, then go do some Pan-Africanist shit. Instead of sitting around talking about, what the people who already said they ain't gonna do shit about in the Pan-Africanist circles, what they're not gonna do. They already said what they're not gonna do. They already said what they're not about. They already said what they don't believe in. Why are you wasting your time? I'm telling you, if you keep going down this path, eventually people are going to start calling you out and saying, nigga, what are you doing in relation to Pan-Africanists? Nigga's going to start asking for receipts of your actual actions and your actual deeds. He continues, he says, men like Paul Biya go unchallenged and unquestioned. Yeah, 100% correct. He's been, obviously, since he's been there since the fucking early 80s. Yeah. Yeah, and so clearly that shows that nobody's doing shit. And they haven't done shit for fucking 40 plus years. They haven't done shit. That should tell you something. That somebody can sit up there and just, oh, look at me. I've won again. You know what I mean? That they can do that shit for 40 fucking years? That should tell, right there, there's your track record. There's your track record of we as black men didn't do shit about this corrupt leader staying in power forever, ever, forever, ever, ever. Yeah, forever, ever. We, as the black diaspora, as the pro-black Pan-Africanist diaspora, can't even get one corrupt African leader out of fucking power. You see? And when you say that out loud, you know how weak that shit looks? You know how weak that shit looks? When you get black women coming online talking about, y'all niggas can't do anything. Y'all niggas can't build. Y'all niggas can't do. You can't get a fucking, the president of Cameroon removed when the motherfucker's been there for 40 years and clearly has a freaking corrupted elections. You can't get him removed, but you want to sit there and you want to waste your time talking about, oh, they attacking my character. They attacking who I am. They attacking, us Pan-Africanists. Okay, Pan-Africanists, what are you doing about the corrupt leaders in Africa? What have you done to prevent, stop, or undermine or remove the corrupted leaders in Africa that you so have deemed as corrupted? What have you done? You see, now you start looking like an asshole because you haven't done shit. And again, deflecting and sitting there and talking about, O'Shea the Duke Jackson, he said this about me and attacked my character and this, that, and the third. That shit looks weak. You look as weak as the white people who won't address the call coming from inside the house. They sitting there talking about, what about Chicago? What about Chicago? Had nothing to do with why Charlie Kirk got popped in the neck. What about Chicago had nothing to do with why those little precious white children got shot up in that Catholic church up there in Michigan, right? What about Chicago had nothing to do with the white dude walking up in the Mormon church and shooting the bitch up and setting it on fire? You see? That's the deflective shit. So he says, I remember I asked O'Shea to make a video calling out President Museveni of Uganda. First off, it wouldn't be smart for him to do that while he's in Uganda, because I think he's been living in Uganda. That wouldn't be smart. That would just set his ass up for failure, because the rest of the world doesn't have the type of free speech that America has. But aside, from that point, I don't even know if O'Shea is pro-Pan-Africanist, or not. But I'm saying, when it comes to you and what you're doing, if O'Shea is not Pan-Africanist, again, I don't know if he is or if he isn't. But if he isn't, it's dumb for you to ask him that question. If he is, it's kind of still dumb, because if he's living in Uganda, then that's going to jeopardize his safety, right? And then the third thing is like, I don't understand why you would be asking him to do that. Like that would be for the hardcore Pan-Africanists, not the people that you're arguing with them, because obviously there has to be some disagreement between you and O'Shea, and so you're arguing with O'Shea. So I'm assuming O'Shea is an Pan-Africanist, or he has his reservations about it or other issues. I haven't been following his videos. I haven't been watching his shit, so maybe I'm speaking out of context because I don't know. You know what I mean? But clearly you must have a problem, with his platform or his position or whatever. And you're like, why don't you make a video? Like as though making videos about these complex issues in Africa is gonna solve or fix anything. It's gonna take boots on the fucking ground. Again, this is what the anti, Pan-Africanists are basically saying. Like, there is no real organization. The Pan-Africanists are like the LGBTQ community that just simply wants to be recognized. You know what I'm saying? But they have no military arm. They have no organization. You know what I mean? They have no power players. They have no resources. You know what I'm saying? They have no capital. You know what I mean? And then what are you going to do as Pan-Africanists? Go against the interest of other nations that are superpowers that actually have funding and resources that they're in Africa, those African leaders are meeting with them. They're not meeting with you. They're not meeting with Nefekare. They're meeting with the Chinese and the Russians and the French or whoever else they're fucking meeting with, or the United States. I just saw in I forget what country it was. I want to say maybe it was the Ivory Coast or something. One of them countries, they told Donald Trump no when it came to lithium because they just discovered lithium mines and everything. And again, this is the whole thing with Trump and China and rare earth minerals, and they trying to they need those minerals. Because if you try to make EVs, if you try to make robots, if you try to make supercomputers, you're going to need those rare earth minerals. You know, so, and then at the end, which I'm even surprised this got through the YouTube filters, but then he's like, pussy boy still hasn't made the video yet. Like, nigga shit. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I constantly see Nefekare trying to stay relevant in attacking, you know, other black men online, and not even like really like meaningful constructive criticism, right? Because the people who've been in this space long enough, you know, we've all had our disagreements and have criticized each other. People have criticized me. I've criticized other people. You know, all this shit is going on. You know, but when it comes to it's freaking echoing in here, and I got this damn sitting right next to the fucking closet with the damn heater in it. What was I about to say? I don't like the way that Nefekare moves on this Pan-Africanist shit. I don't. And it only reinforces why the Pan-Africanism is a waste of time, because instead of going out there and just handling business, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you can't argue with success. Like, nobody could say shit if Nefekare was like literally out there in Africa, doing videos, documentaries, whatever, talking to people on the ground and doing what he could, making connections between two different places on the planet filled with black people and trying to get them to work together. You know what I mean? It would be one thing if he was doing all that, but he ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? You can't argue with success. You can't argue with numbers. You can't argue with results. And I think that would be much more meaningful than him running around talking about, oh, these anti-Pan-Africanists, they attack my character. Like, nigga, who gives a fuck? Literally, who gives a fuck? If you're so hard in the paint for the Pan-Africanist shit, then go out there and do some fucking Pan-Africanist shit. Damn, I keep seeing this shit. Anyway, that's all I got to say. That's my video. SWP. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe, and I'm out.
On the scene, diamond blingy, whole screen, checkerboard, Louis V. I'm so fresh and so clean. Stuff them bands in my jeans, slap them 30s in them things. Pull the trigger, let it sing. Then go smoke a Russian cream.
Boo, hold on.
Yeah.
Hello?
We at?
Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!